Hey, what's up, everybody? Yes, welcome. This is an unusual time for me to stream, but hey, it's because I got guests tonight, so yas. Good to see all of you guys here. We got Sadie, Dune, alright, Ghost One, Grumpy Zane Boy, Opera Ghost Cam, Echo, Vestalicious, Sneak, Vactel, Sozo, Pixel, everybody. Oh, damn. Okay, the Twitch numbers just jumped because earlier I was just displaying 6, and now it's a better number. I gotta say, it's a nice number. All right, hey, Sriracha, what's up? Artilia, Pikushish, good to see all of you. Good to see all of you. Yes, the artist twins. These are the people I am talking today. We have Sandra and Debra Khoo. They are both Malaysians, but they are now all based abroad. I'll let them tell you a bit more about their stories in a bit. But yes, they are amazing people. They're like, oh my god, it's a new follower. Thank you, Blix Plays. And they are like OGs in the arts community and art industry in Malaysia. Alright, so without further ado, I just want to say thank y'all for coming. If you want to join the Discord, alright, we have a Discord, 18 and above, only good vibes, no not safe for work content as usual. So yeah, come join the fun. And without further ado, this is the first time I'm doing like an interview chat session like this, so fingers crossed. No technical difficulties. Alrighty. Okay, let me unmute my guests. So okay, and now I shall bring up me friends Debra and Sandra. Right. Okay, ladies, y'all live. Okay. Say hello.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so yeah, it's been so long since I've seen like the both of you. Sandra, I think
years.
Selamat pagi from New York.
Selamat pagi.
Yeah.
Hey. Yo, it's like 11 p.m. here. Sandra, you are in like which part of France are you in?
Selamat petang.
Selamat
Burgundy.
Petang. You're in Burgundy. And Debra,
Yeah, right
you are
in the middle.
You're right smack. What time is it in Burgundy right now?
It's coming to 4:12 p.m.
4:12. Debra, what about you? Where are you and what time is it over
10:12 a.m.
10:12. It's right,
Sunday.
Guys. Debra woke up early on a Sunday, and she's a mother of a newborn baby, and
which means no sleep at all.
Yeah, no sleep, and she managed to like wake up early and put on makeup just for this. So thank you so much, Debra.
And shower.
And shower. All right, that's a medal right there. That's a medal right there. All right, we got quite a few people on the stream now. Hey, Taja made it. Oh, I hope Taja doesn't find out what happens in the Discord earlier today. Anyway, Sarki's here as well. Okay, so the reason I arranged for this conversation with you guys because like there is like a crazy amount of artists in my Discord server. And the game that I voiced for, No Straight Roads, it's exposed me to like a huge artist community. So like the amount of fan art and all this kind of stuff that's been coming out that I've been seeing, it's been like absolutely amazing. And usually when you think fan art, right, at least when I think fan art, I'm thinking like little doodles and like little pieces here and there, right? But
like little children's drawings.
Yeah, I mean that's my head, right? Because that's the kind of fan art I would do. But then like the pieces and the works I've been seeing, it's like oh my god, all these people
CG
like
society level. I think
some of them, they're really good.
It has begun. Our allies are finally here. Thank you. We got one housemate like hosting us right now. Sorry. So yeah, it's been a very eye-opening experience for me. And seeing like the level of like even in fan art, the level of fan art, which is I don't know, it's just so good. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just really good.
I think 10 years ago I even heard primary schools getting to learn Cinema 4D. That's a 3D software. So
Cinema 4D in primary school?
Yeah, Singapore. I'm not sure about Malaysia.
Mola, that's a different 4D they're learning, alright?
Well, the
Alright.
young kids I teach now are learning Photoshop by themselves,
They're learning
and
Photoshop by themselves?
they
Hot
can learn
damn.
all the softwares themselves online in YouTube and all that.
Oh, dang.
Hala, yo.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough, man. So,
Even the
okay,
students I used to teach now,
yeah.
Instagram stars.
So, like, how did you guys get started in your, like, tell me a bit about, like, the like, of yourselves, where you guys
Okay,
Sandra
started, because you
first.
guys are twins, and
all
that's a very integral part of this entire relationship.
right. Yeah. Just to give everyone a little background, Deborah is 10 minutes older, so I have to count down to her. Yeah, so we've been. Actually, it was. We started drawing since we were kids, basically, since kindergarten. We were doodling side by sides, always drawing at each other's desk. And turns out Deborah, who is good at coloring, I was lousy at it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm better at visualizing and sketching.
Ah,
So,
okay.
yeah. We
And
used
I
to
remember we
also do
started
voice
drawing
acting together.
dragons. I remember we started drawing dragons, then it became dogs, and then it became something.
Yeah. Yeah. Humans were always later because they were a boring topic. But we have our own imagination when the two of us would sit together, draw, and then
Mm-hmm.
we would voice act our roles while we draw and imagine the scene happening before us.
So was it like did you guys start off as like a fandom? Did you guys have like any fandoms that you guys chased, or was it just like
I
100%
don't
grew
think
like?
up
that word existed back then.
Yeah, yeah. We grew up with a lot of Disney and Palace and Bachelor stuff and
Yeah,
Warner Brothers, like Looney Tunes, all that.
yeah.
And those Saturday morning cartoons like, He-Man, She-Ra,
Oh yeah.
My Little Pony.
Voltron. Yeah.
There was, oh yeah, My Little Pony. I keep thinking it's a very new franchise, but apparently it's been around like forever. Like it's
No.
seen
Oh,
so many reiterations.
fine.
Yeah, there's
We
like
old.
there's like human versions of My
Hasbro.
Little Pony now. Yeah.
We keep giving away hints of our age now.
So okay,
Yeah.
how did you
And
guys get into? Okay, so clearly art was a very big part of your childhood and growing up.
it's
Like the,
definitely for me. Yeah.
I think the transition was when we reached college, when we get to actually choose what course we wanted to take. So Sandra chose graphic design. And then
Mm.
I reached a point where I'm like, I don't want to compete drawing with her anymore. I'm so demoralized. So I took computer arts.
oh, oh wow.
I like it. I do not wish to compete with her anymore because her drawing started to look nicer and nicer, and mine started to still look the same. And I'm like, another 30 years of this? No, thank you. Let me just take another course.
Oh,
We were competitive, but Deborah could color much better than I do anytime.
yeah.
Well, thank you.
And, at least you got that.
So this is
And
why you see now where she is, where she's at, and why I am where I'm at. Visual
Okay.
effects, computer, tech geeky, and she's always by paper, true to the original form.
So
oh,
was
one thing. Sorry.
hmm,
Go ahead.
what about the like family though? Because like okay, coming from like a traditional Asian family perspective, like arts is usually like no
Frowned
go. Like that's
upon, isn't it?
frowned upon. That's the last career you ever do. I will disown you. You will go and live somewhere else. They will every trick in the book will be pulled out just to stop children from pursuing a creative career. So what
we,
was that
we
for you
had
guys?
we had a get out of jail free pass because we are the youngest in the family.
Ah.
Well, we lucked out. We got lucky. We had
Okay.
Yeah.
two elder siblings, so they had to do the nasty, and then we like, woo.
Yeah, we could enjoy a bit of creativity. Also, for my side, it was because art was a big part of my life because I was a sickly child growing up.
Hmm.
So I was asthmatic and I also had bronchitis. So sports and outdoor activities was a no-no for me. So art was my world. So it's where I always go into my imaginary world and stuck by it, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think back in those days, is a both parents have to work kind of situation. There's no single parent, father breadwinner, mother stay at home. So we were at home most of the time, and we had each other
Mhm.
and lots of paper.
No, I tore out my school exercise books and I drew in my school textbooks. I actually did little animations with the pages as well.
Oh wow! Like a little like
Yeah.
a little flip
Yeah,
book,
yeah,
right?
yeah. You know
So-
those science books, but
Yeah.
it's not
So
worth anything. It's just drawn.
What were your instruments of choice
You know.
when you guys first started? Was it always like pencil, or was it pen, or was it like colors, or Sorry,
And
Sandra, I can't hear you.
man, it's paper and pencil.
Paper and pencil. Okay.
No, I think our parents travel. Also, we got the Karen Dodge color pencils. We got the
Oh.
Faber Castells. And what's
I
that
always
one
love
from-
Luna. I like Luna.
Oh, Luna's nice.
Yeah.
Does it still exist?
Yeah. Yeah. You go
I know
digital.
Bancho is still out there. There's like Banco or Bancho, I don't know what it's called.
Don't buy Bancho. I'll
Yeah.
say it. I put it out there. Don't buy Bancho.
I don't know. I'm at the stage where I'm still looking for stuff that's safe for the kids to swallow. So yeah.
Oh no. It don't. I'll tell you now. Bancho doesn't taste good because I've drank it before.
Oh god! Allies have brought reinforcements
I
from yonder
accidentally drank
land.
my water
Our
color.
empire will continue to expand. Sorry, we got like a friend of mine who just rated our stream with like 13 viewers. Thank you so much, show. Really appreciate it. Yeah. So guys, you guys coming into the raid, joining the raid, coming to this stream. Basically, I'm talking to a couple of artist friends of mine. Show, thank you so much for bringing your friends over. I'm talking to a couple of artist friends of mine, so it's a little bit different from the usual gaming stuff I do, because I have a lot of like artists in my community, and I'm trying to like, you know, show them like the people in the field, you know, getting their hands dirty in the trenches day in and day out. Like, it's one thing to pursue art as a passion and a hobby, but I am one of those people that always feel like if you want to turn what you like to do into a career, like that is a very, very different switch that you have to flip in your head, right? Because when it's a hobby and passion, like oh, I don't feel like doing it today, or like I have no ideas today, I'm not inspired, you can just like drop it and move on and do something else. But when you have deadlines and it's a job and you have to get it done, whoa, different kind of pressure, man. Dum 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 dum! Oh my god, it's a new follower!
I don't think they realize the reality of it.
Yeah, I think
once you get used to it, your the work becomes a pleasure. It doesn't become a job anymore. You don't feel it.
But do you guys ever run into situations where like you, like I'm sure every artist has encountered this, where you just run into a creative dry spell, like when it's a job thing, when you're on the job, like how and burnout, like when you're on the job, how do you, like what's your way to like overcome it or deal with it or avoid it?
My scene is totally different from Sandra's. As a visual effects, I hardly get to create my own content. I do other people's content. I do other people's projects. I do other people's commercials. So I don't really need to get that what you call it, writer's block or artist block.
Yeah.
Unless it comes to a point where you gotta do a promo from scratch, where you get creative direction on your own. That one, you really need to get your resources, your pool of resources ready, and get whenever snap. We need a look like in a few minutes, like today, you get it ready. You gotta get those ready. So whatever your influences are, keep that close to you.
Okay. Sandra, what about you?
I keep an arsenal ready actually, because my work transcends a lot of industries. Like I would touch a bit of gaming, a bit of publishing, not just animation, because animation is a big chunk of my day job. But at the same time, I have my own passion to delve into other things. That's where I stop from keeping bored.
Yeah.
So I like multitasking a lot. So I may be tired working like a dead horse on
Yeah.
animation for my company alone, but that's how I rejuvenate myself. I work on other things to refresh my mind so I can come back in a new light, new energy, new momentum.
Okay. So the common thread here is that like because even with voiceovers there like there are times where like you don't have a very clear cut, like there's no real like outright inspiration to do something or to create something. So I get what you guys mean when you have to like kind of fall back to certain things that are in your head and like that's modular and mechanical, right?
Yeah.
That's very important.
We're
So
sponges. We absorb everything and then we utilize it whenever it comes. There's a need for it.
I want to
Okay.
say, like,
Yeah.
if you notice the great ones that's already established themselves, they always fall back to their first love or who inspired them in the
Familiarity.
first place.
Yeah.
So you always have your go back to place.
Yeah.
For that.
Okay,
that's
so
why I noticed for most people.
Yeah, I mean, because even with voice acting, I do have situations where like it's like you go for audition or whatever, and like there are like the certain character archetypes. So before I try to like come up with something that's like, if I don't have anything that I feel is like 100% me on that character, I would usually like pick from a very specific box of voices and roles and palettes and stuff like that to see what might potentially fit.
Again,
then,
familiarity or something, right?
yeah, right. And then from there like you get feedback, and then from there like you start then you tweak it a bit, and then in the end everyone's happy with whatever you just delivered, right? It's interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, okay, college you guys were on, you guys were in different colleges, right? You guys, the paths started
We went to the
diverging.
same college.
Same
Same
okay.
college, different branch. Because again, we didn't want to compete.
Okay.
And actually, that time, Lim Kok Wing, let's say Lim Kok Wing, the school was located so near our place. It's just 10 minutes walk. Let's just go there. Yeah, we didn't have to travel all the way to KL because we live in Petaling Jaya at that time.
Yeah.
And I think back in those days there wasn't many good art schools.
Yeah.
And I think the same
At that
or
time,
the One Academy did not really exist that time.
they did, but they did not offer an animation course for me. So when the animation course came about, I was about 4th generation only
Wow, that's very new.
participate. Yeah, so yeah, we were like one of the old pioneers at that time.
To those who are not from Malaysia, this was 1997 back in those days.
Yeah. 1997.
1998 for me.
Yeah, but basically the late 90s, like a career in animation in Malaysia was still like completely unimaginable and like
it's zero,
totally,
basically.
yeah,
unless
zero, right?
We're talking about RTM, that mouse deer kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, Sandra, when you got into, because you picked animation and you're one of those artists that's very like pen and paper is a very familiar thing to you. So why animation for you, and why like
It's been a passion of mine since growing up. I performed well in that sense because I've been absorbing animation all my life, basically growing up.
Yeah.
So before I even knew it was possible for me to get into animation, I've been doing animation before that. I've been watching cartoons. I've been actually doing flipbook style animation on my own, and basically drawing and learning the shapes and size and getting repetition, being repetitive in my drawings. Everything that's required for 2D animation. By the way, I didn't even consider going into 3D at all.
Did you get help? There was no help from the internet at the time, right? Or very little at least.
No internet. Basically, it's all in books and VHS or whatever your TV station broadcasts, and I would record it religiously.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
She would
Deborah, how
she would
did you
ace
end up?
any
Yeah.
so she would ace any Disney trivia right now.
Wow.
Mm. No, not now. Back in the 80s, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, because now it's a little bit more convoluted than
Now it's
before.
like you got an onslaught of talents, you can't keep up.
Yeah. Deborah,
Mhm.
so how did you end up in VFX? Because I would imagine growing up as a child, uh,
Mm.
VFX artist is not exactly like on your radar like right away.
We were watching cartoons when we were young, tons of it,
Mhm.
and at the same time, we watched a lot of movies as well. And we played a lot of games like Prince of Persia, Double Dragon, all these things. So
Ooh.
we were surrounded by tech and TV. So that time, I started as in computer arts in my school. I majored in multimedia design. So that exposed me to web design, video design, and a little bit of graphics design. So it was like jack of
Mhm.
all trades. And
Mhm.
then I got my first job after graduating in VHQ Post. That's a
Okay.
post-production company in Malaysia, and they do a lot of TV commercials. That's when I think was the birthing time in the timeline. It was the birthing stage of motion graphics.
Mhm.
So I got started at motion graphics, but as a secret behind the scenes, before that even happened, I was actually interviewed for 2D.
Oh,
I
okay.
became a 2D anchor for like 3 months. I'm not sure if Felicia's listening because she actually at that time she forgot about my job interview and she just threw me into that department.
Oh gosh.
At least you got in. I didn't even get in. I went for interview and I was rejected.
Ooh. Okay,
I got
so
lucky.
Sad
It
time, but
was
it's
luck.
okay.
Yeah.
we know how Deborah kind of got the first job and everything. So Sandra, how did you work your way to your first job?
I haven't, not like Deborah, who got into a stable full time job. I was
Yeah.
freelancing. I was the nomad, going here and there wherever there's a job. I did everything from painting furniture, storyboarding. Because all these jobs, you don't have a niche full time job,
That's true. That's
position.
true.
Because most of the studios are for commercials in TV, and I'm looking for animation, and there wasn't a lot of studios out there at that time.
And I think
So
at that time,
I've been floating basically,
yeah, and that time like MDEC,
and
I don't think MDEC was like focused on animation or even set up yet, right?
oh, and that came a lot later. No,
A lot later, right?
um,
Yes.
so I would say the closest I got to a full time job was with my friends. A group of us ended up in a small animation studio making TV series for RTM.
Mm-hmm.
The studio kind of shut down. It was about to shut down. So I got the call from MDEC to come for an interview, and it turned out the project that I've been partially on board since college is kickstarting there because they have
Okay.
funding from the government, which is Saladin. So that's how I end up there,
Ah, okay.
basically. The start of my big journey.
Yeah. So, for
So,
folks who don't know, MDEC is a part of the government arm that's in charge of like helping develop the digital economy for the country. So, it started off first with like animation, and then after that, I believe they went into stuff like fintech and all this kind of stuff. And then the last few years, they started getting into gaming. So that's why like the game No Straight Roads managed to come up because there was like help from the Malaysian government. So MDEC was a very
yeah,
instrumental part in the
yeah,
Malaysian animation industry, and it basically
yeah, the growth
like
and everything.
yeah it helped spur the growth. So yeah, and Saladin was one of those like maiden projects, right? I remember.
The first one that was to my knowledge, basically.
Yeah,
And
and
I
it was
was one of the first few who were called in to interview for the artist job. So, hey,
so
I got, that's where I started.
So the first time when you worked on it, were you like super excited, or was it like just okay, this is just a thing I'm doing now, or?
I was nervous, but because I knew what was required doing research on my side for the historical accuracy, so I knew exactly what to draw. And because I had a certain style to my drawings, which was Western, so it stood out from the others that were drawing more like anime manga style.
Okay.
That tends to be a big issue during my time, because even when I was studying, a lot of students were drawing Japanese or Koreans, a lot of those Asian comic styles.
Yeah.
Whereas because me and Deborah grew up with a lot of Western materials from UK, we grew up with Dandy Beano and all that Topper, and we with Americans we grew up with Marvel and Disney and everything else.
But I think we had a
That's-
huge
that's what it
collection
is.
of Archie comics.
Yeah, that
Archie
too.
comics. Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh
We
my
actually
gosh, yeah.
Why is right there?
the comic.
Yeah.
Then then I ended up there as a character designer,
Ah, amazing.
and it's been
Yeah. Okay. We got Wan Hazme, who's the director for Metronomic, the game company. He says it's actually the same now. Students still like to draw anime style. So yeah, I think it's not surprising because it's still that big.
Yeah,
it's still that big arch, right? That big gap between
it's
the
it's
east and the
huge
west.
until now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't blame them. There's a lot of good content
Yeah.
to be
that's true.
inspired by. Yeah, we have a few ourselves, but I don't know. I tend to veer towards Western style because I love the amount of detail and appealing, softer looking characters, whereas anime manga is more edgy.
Yeah, it's very edgy and very in your face at the same time, I think.
Yeah, I like that the fact that they don't hold back in their stories.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Deborah, so you started working in a post-production house, started getting 2D. So what was the journey like from that point onwards? And when was the time that you decided that, you're out of here? That you're gonna be leaving Malaysia?
I actually, at VHQ Post,
Yeah.
I worked my way, realizing this it's a lot of work. My family hardly sees me. It's a dog-eat-dog industry. Salary is low. Hours are killer. There's no like 5-day work week or what's that? 7 to 8 hour work days. It's like 9 to
people don't understand,
midnight,
like
kinda.
yeah, when like in Southeast Asia,
In
particular,
Asia.
even in Malay, in Asia
Yeah.
in general, when someone says it's an 8-hour a day job, right? Everybody automatically thinks it's 9 to 5, but here no, it's 9 to 6, and everyone's like, no, that's 9 hours, and we're like, yeah, the lunch hour doesn't count, right? And that's just the official hours. After that, the overtime and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, so over here in Asia, like 12-hour days, 10-hour days.
Overtime does not exist in Southeast
doesn't-
Asia.
Yeah.
It's just a 1 month salary for whatever you're at the back end call of the company, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
After
That's
doing,
what prompted you.
yeah, after doing my craft for so long and feeling burnt out, getting unhealthy, and I do started hearing that time INDB slowly came out, LinkedIn started coming out, and then I started browsing job around the globe, like what jobs would be available for motion graphics, what's the requirements. Like I checked in America, motion graphics artists would need so and so much these skills, this set of background you need. So I started to direct my path towards those things and forget about Southeast Asia, because people kept telling me, you keep hearing like, that you earn so much more there, you earn so much more there, and our currency is not helping it as well.
That's true.
Mm.
So
And
did you have to like develop or hone in a specific skill set to cater to the jobs that you were aiming for, or did you already kind of have them because of what you were already doing?
I did not benchmark myself with what I saw locally. Everyone says you need to do this, you need to have that, you need to just focus on Photoshop, motion graphics. But then I keep seeing job offers that says you need to have Cinema 4D, you need to have a bit of compositing, you need this, you need to be a hybrid, basically what I saw. So I keep pressuring my bosses, like, can we please learn this? Can we please learn that? And they're like, no, it's Flame. Flame is a very expensive suite for compositing. And that's it. To them, that's compositing. And I'm like, no, it's not that. When you go look outside the box, it's not that anymore. Technology's improving. So I just like gave up. My words have fallen on deaf ears locally.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's when my out of here moment came.
So what do you think helped you land the job? Was your first overseas gig HBO like straight away, or?
No,
Tell us your journey.
Yeah, I always wanted New York to be my final destination, but it wasn't easy to get to that spot. So I would say time, luck came. My boyfriend that time, now husband, is actually from New York. So I did not plan any of this to happen. This was unplanned.
Okay.
I just focused in Malaysia, perfecting my craft, getting that portfolio look shiny and sleek. Everyone was asking, oh, you're moving there, did you get a job? I said, no, you can't get a job there. You gotta get your documents first. You gotta get your green card. You gotta get your ID. You can't apply for a job. It's basically useless if you start actually applying for jobs abroad when you don't have the paperwork. So you're wasting time. So that was a huge risk for me to just go there zero, straight bottom at of the ladder.
So
no network, no connections, nothing.
So did you have like a financial plan? Did you like save up a certain amount, or like what was your plan going in? Or was there a plan?
I want to disclose this now. Do not follow my path. I came to this country, America, with just $1,000 in my pocket.
Wait, ringgit or dollars? Ringgit.
Dollars.
Okay.
Dollar. Ringgit will be even worse. I actually paid up all the bills I need to settle, close everything. Give my car to Sandra.
Ooh,
she basically passed me everything.
Yeah, just take.
Yeah, take the mom too.
Don't disclaimer. Do not follow my path. Have some backup.
Yeah. So you basically did the rock star thing, lah. You did the whole.
That's the reason why she could, is because we're twins. She had someone back home to take care of everything else. Pack up and leave like that, gung ho.
Well, it wasn't
like she
so
did with
hard.
the studies too.
Yeah, it wasn't so hard to pack up and leave as you have siblings to take care of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Husband says yes. Dive in the pool and ask questions later.
Yeah.
But I was exploring unexplored territory in New York. No, don't know nobody, don't know nothing.
But also there's that thing, right? Like, did you know that you were ready? Like did you know that you would be able to deliver like the quality of work that they would require of you and stuff like that?
I was not ready. I just went for it.
Yeah.
I knew at least I was comfortable enough to do TV commercials, so that was what I started applying for when I came here. I started applying for jobs that I was familiar with, like motion graphics. I did all that first. I even did some pro bono Kickstarter for some people in LA. They were doing this cartoon, one per person. And she was actually a lighting artist for Toronto Sony Image Picture Works. So that was a Kickstarter. So I learned how to do 3D compositing from that, and I'm like, ooh, this is fun. Even though I'm not paid anything, but at least I learned a lot from that.
Yeah. So
started to fatten up my American reel because it was all just Asian content in my reel.
So how did
Allies have brought reinforcements from yonder land. Our empire will continue to expand. It's a rain.
Thank you. It's also add that, if I may add, Debra's training in working in post in Malaysia helped her withstand the pressure in America because you've had all your training there.
Yeah, I must say, I'm known for speed here.
Because of all the training in Malaysia.
You work so fast. You fast, girl. It's like, oh, try Southeast Asian deadline.
Yeah. We fast and we still don't go home.
We cockroaches. We learn to survive.
But so like, yeah, I mean, Southeast, the work here is insane, but it's nice to know that if you put your mind to it.
Crazy.
Yeah, the deadlines are crazy, right? Like, it's always the deadline was like yesterday or like 2 hours ago. But it's nice to know that if you set your mind to it and you take a leap of faith, like do your due diligence and some research, of course, that you can make it. So like, how did you land that gig? Like, how did you eventually end up with HBO?
I got spotted. Apparently, I asked my ex-manager. He told me I was spotted by this lady, Barbara. She was the vice president of digital productions, I think, of HBO. She spotted my Vimeo, and she told him my Vimeo was quite had a good variety of skill sets. Like, she saw lots of stuff that I did, like sci-fi graphics, documentary TV, articles, even storyboarding. She saw like good
theater,
variety. So she called me in to do freelance first. And that freelance gig was actually quite a funny story as well, because at that time Comic-Con was happening in New York. And I was going on that day they called me. I was actually waiting to take photos with Stanley. That back then he was still alive.
Oh God.
So HBO called me to come freelance, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't. I gotta take a photo with Stanley. I'm like, oh my god, HBO called me. So I did say, after the photo up with Stanley, I can come. So they're willing to let me come in at 8 p.m. that day to help them with some stuff for Ballers. They were doing a promo for Ballers that time.
Yeah.
Ballers is that show with with The Rock, right? Is it?
The Rock, The Rock. Yeah. They had some last minute next day kind of deadline, which we're all so familiar with.
Okay.
So powers combined. Okay, I went to HBO with I think I had my Comic-Con stuff on. I was sweaty, carrying some goodies, some swag from Comic-Con, and I went there. I'm here. And then they're like, okay, we got you some shots to work on. And they're like, okay, I can do this. Just do my stuff. Comp, clean, roto, track, some shots. And then they came to check on me in half an hour. It's like 5 shots done. They're like, whoa. They were like, whoa. They were impressed. After that, they keep calling me back. And then after a few months of freelancing, that was my foot in the door. But I think I was competing with 2 other freelancers that time. They had they were trying out other people, and so happens timing was perfect. Someone in their artist department was leaving to Germany. That was the one spot open that ding ding ding. Malaysia boy.
Nice. Nice.
So it's
So,
still
like, how-
tiny and that.
So how long have you been with HBO already? Like to date?
I'm 3 years, 10 months as a full-time staff, but I think I was like 5-6 months freelancing prior. So
Okay,
4 years.
So that's 4 years. That's impressive. That's impressive. From like, wow.
From
straight
zero.
away-
Yeah.
Yeah, from zero. And just
Considering, yeah, all the things happening in America now with all the reshuffling, you're still there, which is great. Thank God.
And the way it works, comparing here, New York to Southeast Asia, the turnover of jobs is not as often as Southeast Asia. They get a sense of the company, they hop on to the next company to get more experience.
Yeah.
But in New York, if you are full-time staff, nobody leaves. They stay like 20-30 years in that company. So
wow.
a space open hardly exists. It's like a huge pool of freelance, permanence, but you
Staff
hardly
openings.
get. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to
brilliant.
say that too, if people want to plan to migrate to New York, brace yourself to take non-staff positions, do a lot of freelance and permalancing in your
Alright.
first few years.
Yeah.
I
So
was
basically
actually
try-
permalancing.
So basically, try to just get whatever you can get and just try to like make it through that initial hump.
Up your portfolio, basically.
Up your portfolio, yeah. All right, I think that is a big key thing. Like up your portfolio game, guys. Okay, okay, now let's talk about Sandra. Sandra went the other way, guys. So Debra dropped everything to leave for the land of opportunity. Sandra got everything from
Yeah.
Debra and had to start from a land with like zero opportunity.
By the way.
Yeah, that one you should ask her why she chose.
Yeah, why? Because that is like, I don't know, that is like the path of most
My
resistance,
choice,
you know.
Yeah. Well, being twins with Debra, I saw what she was up against, and I saw her lifestyle in that industry. I knew I didn't want to go there. I wouldn't have survived. I don't have the strength that my twin had. I'm the weaker side of the twin, I would say.
Personality.
I'm
were
the
like
softer
yin
one,
and
yeah.
yang, yeah.
Okay.
Debra is stronger. She's a go-getter. So New York suits her very well. For where Debra's a city girl, I am the country bumpkin.
I'm the dumb fool.
I would say that, yeah, Debra is the city girl. I'm stuck in Malaysia. Not to say that it's bad, but
Yeah,
I liked the idea that if if I go, I wouldn't come back. Let's just put it that way.
that's true.
Yeah, there was so much opportunity seeing all my friends, colleagues, everyone venture out and leading pretty good careers. But I knew I'm the sort who would never come back. So what's helping Malaysia? Not to say that I'm a hero for sticking around, but we don't know what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
It's going to be a hard fight for me. So I start from ground zero, basically, really, really ground zero. Oh.
But
Starting with-
personality-wise, I'm like the bull charging into the China shop, and she's the one
Yeah.
that observes and assesses the situation like a detective and see every nook and cranny before she takes the leap. So personality-wise,
Yeah.
that's the difference. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, because when you see you're like the softer of the two, I'm like, no, Sandra, like the amount of stuff you have to deal with on a daily basis in your line of work is like it's insane. There's no way you can be soft like with the kind of stuff you have to deal with.
Oh, but you haven't seen me cry, Stephen.
Oh,
Oh, there's a lot of tears that
yeah.
get me to where I am. I cried a lot. You can ask Edie or my colleagues.
So okay,
Yeah,
Malaysia, there
yeah,
was practically no scene. So Saladin was like the big flagship thing.
yeah,
So
and that lasted 5 years.
5 years. Okay. So after
Yeah,
that, like where did things go and how?
I took a break, and then I landed in computer gaming for those kind of Facebook games, those apps
Huh.
like
Yeah.
Big Fish games, all that. So
Mm.
okay, let's try something. And in between that, I got a call from my current boss,
Mm-hmm.
Juhaida Jomin. She asked me. She was setting up a new company, Giggle Garage, but I couldn't join at that time because I was in gaming.
Mm.
So when the gaming companies started to reshuffle and remodel their strategy, that I was basically downsized. Let's put it that way, and
Okay.
that gave me the opportunity to join Giggle Garage.
Mm.
So that's where I've been all this time. Before that, I was freelancing and joining wherever. It's like Mary Poppins. I go where the wind takes me.
Okay. So
But
like.
truth be told,
Mm.
she was more famous in Malaysia than I was. So I was like, I ain't dealing with this. I go to riot parties, company parties, and they're like, "Hi, I know you. You're Sandra's sister." And I'm like, "Who? I have
Oh.
a name. I have a name."
Oh man. But okay, like for
I don't know. I don't know why.
but for Sandra, like how did the tech side work for you? Like, did you have to pick up like new programs, or did you have to explore programs that people weren't into yet, or
We
stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, in college we were trained to apply Adobe and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
we got our hands in on some 3D softwares like 3D Studio Max,
Yeah.
and we learned some web design and stuff. But that's about the skill set I had at that time. So when I ventured into starting my gigs in the animation industry, it didn't take much actually because I jumped in from digital to traditional all the time, wherever's
Okay.
comfortable and wherever gives me speed. Unless you need it digitally rendered, that's where yeah we had to color and draw by mouse at that time. By the way, we
Oh,
didn't have
mouse.
Cintiq.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm still using MS Paint on my end.
I
So.
had to draw with a mouse. Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh. That's right, you
Yeah.
artists. Appreciate your. All right. Okay.
Oh.
We've got some.
I see a question. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of questions actually. Okay, let me
Hmm.
take a look at this.
We have
Okay, I've got a whole
questions.
bunch of questions in my Discord server where people is submitting. Okay, first one is from
What are you
Sudoodle.
guys looking at?
Yeah, she says, "Dear Debra, do you use any additional plugins or special scripts in After Effects? And if so, what are they? And how do they help in your phase of production?"
Well, my favorite currently is the Boris FX Mocha Pro, and I'm learning Silhouette Paint as well. Mocha Pro is my total go-to when I need to do a lot of rotor track really, really quick. So do pick up on that. That's going to be superbly helpful if you're going to want to venture into visual effects. Plugins, I would say only since I started moving to New York, I started getting a lot of chance to experiment other plugins because in HBO we have like everything, the whole arsenal of plugins for you to play around with. I don't have a specific favorite, but I do use a lot of those compositing, blur, edge blur kind of effects, if that makes sense, like Sapphire and at the top of my head.
I am just hoping that the people watching have a better idea of this than I do, because like this stuff is just it's so beyond me. I'm really doing this just for them, alright? Okay, but it's good information though. It's good information because I get it. Having having a go-to set of plugins that you're familiar with that you know can get the job done and get you your desired results is always a very important thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, next up we've got Dune, who's got a question for Sandra. Dune asks, if you can, do you recall any weird experiences during your job? What was one thing you didn't expect when you first became a creative director?
Honestly, I never asked for this role. I was just thrown into the lion's mouth, basically, because I knew taking on those roles required you to be management, basically, and
Yeah.
talk to people, arrange stuff. So, I didn't prepare myself. I didn't do any preparation. I was just thankfully my boss Juhaida, I don't know what propelled her. She probably trusted me enough. She thought I was capable. I'm sorry if I didn't have anything. I was never the character. I didn't think I was the sort of character to be fitted for this job role. I was soft-spoken. I'm the type of artist that likes to be left alone to do my art. That's it. The quiet ones. That's the reason why even appearing now, talking, I'm totally uncomfortable. But thankfully, my twin is here with me, so I can relax a bit.
Yeah, I know. Like the moment I mentioned when I was asking you, with setting this up, and like the moment I said, "Oh, can I get you and Debra together?" and you're like, "Yes, yes."
She
Yeah.
said she was gonna be. She said she was gonna be interviewed by you. I said, "Do it, do it, do it."
Yeah.
And then later the next day she said, "Oh, you want you to come along too?" I was like, "Oh, really? Me? No one knows me. No one cares about me."
No, I do.
So to answer Dune, if you recall any weird experience during job, weird. Ooh.
Too many.
I don't know what. I don't know,
Right, no worries. Like if it's
I have lost.
yeah.
No. Basically, you just multitask and do everything. It's long hours, lack of sleep. Maybe I'll get right back to that if it comes to me.
Yeah.
I'll get back to that question if anything weird.
Was there anything like when you first started directing that you were excited about that you didn't get to do before?
One, I have a voice. One thing that excites because being an artist, where I came from, I was not trained for my role, so nobody took me seriously. I will put it that way. I was a girl coming from a designer background, suddenly thrown into a director's role. Who would listen to me? I don't blame them. I don't blame them for questioning anything I ask them to do, or if I have an opinion or want to make a suggestion, you would get slapped back,
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
yeah,
Growing pains, right? Growing pains.
I had to fight my way up, but it was thanks to the support of my company and the people I work for. Thank you all who put your trust in me, and I hope I've delivered enough to justify my position. I would say.
All right. Okay.
I know I can be terrible to work with sometimes because I had no prior experience, basically.
Yeah. But I mean, we all live and learn. We all live and learn, and we get better as we go. Okay, I've got one from Zoracha, who's got a question for both of you. Zoracha says, "I'm the same question with my animation professor, but since it's portfolio building season, I want to ask this with you guys as well. What do you feel about putting fan art into a portfolio? Is it considered inappropriate and childish, or can it be an actual piece to show off your skills?"
Animation. So for me, when I review portfolios, fan art is fine if your say you're designing characters for a character design position, I would be able to see your shape and model and your accuracy and quality control based on how passionate you are about this fan art character. It doesn't matter. For me, it's not childish. It shows me what you're interested in as well from a personal point of view. But when building portfolio for animation, we want to see a lot of anatomy drawings. An anatomy for humans, animals, flora, faunas, and even mechanics, the technical stuff like vehicles, robots. Show your variety.
Right.
If you're building for drawings, that's to say.
Okay. What
For
about
me,
Debra?
my 2 cents is if it were in my industry, if you are going towards that way, keep your hobby or your fan art separate from your industry experience work. Keep those two separate page so that people who hire you actually start seeing what experience you have to begin with. And then if they have more time, if they're not filtering too many people, they have time, they will check out what else you're interested in. So keep it separate.
Okay.
That's a good point. I think it's better for your personal artworks, keep it in a sketchbook, because for me, I would ask for your sketchbook. A lot of people don't bring their sketchbooks when they come for portfolio reviews. They show something professional and they've already vetted it. But I like to see their sketchbook because it's not edited. It's not prettied up.
And
So
it's
I
them,
can
right?
see their thought process. Yeah, and it's them.
Okay.
It tells me a lot about a person.
Okay, next up we got Gigi, who asks the both of you, is it better to just keep sticking to the style that you like to draw in, consistent or not? Or is it better to try to branch out even in areas where you have tried and have had no success with so far when it comes to art? Like an illustrator / concept artist trying to tackle 2D animation but not being able to understand the fundamentals or incorporate their style into it easily.
A lot of artist friends who I would say better to dabble in different styles and different traits, because you never know what project you're going to get. You can be passionate about that one style you have that you're so strong at, but nobody's going to hire you for that thing that you really like to do. Everyone has their own preference. You're going to get different clients all the time, so it's better to have a variety of tricks up your sleeve when you do this job. You can draw, let's say, Powerpuff Girls all your life, but the Powerpuff Girls are not going to be there all the time. You're going to be needed to draw an anime project one day, and if you don't have the skill set, they're going to hire someone else.
That's the same for me. Your pool is as big as your skills that you show.
Yeah.
The more variety you have, the bigger your pool. Of jobs that will be offered to you on your plate. If you have just this little slice to show, that'll be you just limiting yourself to that slice. You just gotta be broader than that.
Versatile.
It applies to both full-time job and part-time job. You want to compete for your place. And if someone else can do more than what you can, then you're limiting yourself.
That applies to any industry, I think. In
Any
my
industry.
industry, you have to be a hybrid.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, even Steven, if he just did little cutesy voice acting, he's just gonna get that little cutesy thing.
Yeah, and chances are they're gonna find someone who can do that cutesy thing and a whole bunch of other stuff as well.
Cheaper
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cheaper price. The Asian method. Alright, next up we got Opera Ghost to ask both of you. I've heard that in the creative industry, it doesn't matter much if you went to a good college, or sometimes even if you've gone to college at all. As in, apparently employers will mostly look towards your resume / skills regardless of your past education and experience. Is this true?
For my side, it depends on which country you're in. First of all, if you're in Japan, for example, or those countries that require you to get through that level of education before graduating and getting a job, then you have to go through that process. But for us in Malaysia, I would say getting into a college is good in that sense. It gives you a taste and possibly build network. It's the same if you study overseas or even go online courses. You're bound to meet people, and they will branch out, and you don't know where you'll end up. But yes, the main basis is requirement is your skill set. Basically, if you can educate yourself and learn the way by yourself, then go ahead. It's not impossible.
In the future, everything's virtual now, virtual school.
Yeah, exactly.
Offsite.
You don't need to go. Yeah, certificates
whether you
only
have
guarantee.
Yeah, it's whether you have
Sorry,
the
good paying.
balls to apply for that job and get noticed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. All right,
certificate-
Opera Ghost has an optional question for you
Yeah.
guys. What's your
Yeah.
favorite part about what you do?
Debra?
I think I was trying to think, and then like, okay, I pass it off.
No, no, no.
Sorry, what was the question?
My favorite part, I would say, I get to draw and create new characters, new IPs, which is
Okay.
what I'm doing now for my studio. You create. Your dream job is to make cartoons. I'm doing that. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it because it's so much work. You tend to forget the main goal is you're making cartoons for a living, and on that side, I get to even make time for my own personal stuff. Like I've always wanted to be a comic artist, or I've always wanted to make a game. Then I'm doing it now. Yeah.
Okay, Deborah, the question is, what's your favorite part about
Yes.
what you do?
The question was about what our dream job is, right?
No, what's your favorite part about what you do?
Oh, my favorite part?
Yeah.
Getting a lot of free HBO swag. On the top of my head, what I love is seeing my stuff on TV. That's
Nice.
the best thing, and seeing my name in the end credits of a show, of
All right.
hopefully very famous show. And then
Okay,
It
we
helps
got
that
one-
you're working with a team of people and being appreciated.
And yeah,
Yes.
especially in this dream company when you get to go to the final season premiere of Game of Thrones, and
Oh,
yeah, I have photos to share with them.
it's massive bragging rights there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we got Madam Merle, who asked Sandra, how was it
Hello.
when you were becoming a character designer? Was it about a solid portfolio showing concepts, or more of you happened to be in the right place at the right time with a developed skill set?
I'm very fortunate that throughout my career, most of the time, I did not need to show a solid portfolio. I will put it that way. It was just by word of mouth that recommended me for the job, and I got it. So I'm sorry, but yes, you need a solid portfolio to show the concepts, and you become just prepare yourself. What they don't teach you in school is how to present yourself. That one takes a lot of practice, and I've had a lot of funny stories there when interviewing people. Their portfolios are even lackluster at best, but even then they didn't know how to present themselves. And with this digital age, kids don't even interact social. They don't have the social skill sets to interact with your interviewer.
Yeah, I've seen a good amount of like job interview horror stories from friends who are like employers and stuff. So
Yeah.
they're out there. They're out there.
So becoming character designer, I don't know how it came about. It's just I was that person who stood out. I was the person with the Western style. That was the only thing. Oh, hire Sandra. She could draw it. It was basically that. Just hire her. I didn't even have to show my portfolio.
Okay.
Because no one else could draw that. Maybe I don't know why no one else was thought out. It was just Sandra.
Okay, I get it. I get where you're coming from. Okay,
Yeah.
next up we have Sarki, who wants to ask both of you, saying, finding a job as a concept artist is not
Hang
easy
on,
from where I live.
sorry. There was something else for Madam at the bottom.
Oh yeah, I think you guys answered it though. She said, did you originally set out with your current jobs as your end goals, or did life steer you in much different directions and open doors you didn't originally intend on?
Poppins, I flow with the wind. I did not intend for any of this, to be honest.
Partially luck, yeah.
Funny story. Before we get to Sarki, I'm sorry for that. Funny story at my interview with Juhaida, when they interviewed me for a job as a character designer in the studio. They asked me what was my goal in life, working in this line. I have any aspirations? I answered I wanted to be a farmer.
What?
So here I am. I said I
didn't
told them
know about that.
they did not expect me to be so frank. I said I just want to be a tukang kebon, you know.
Be a farmer? What?
They're like, what crazy person is this? But she knows me well. I could be frank.
Yeah, okay.
They thought I would answer I wanted to be the next Tim Burton or something.
Disclaimer,
But
do
no.
not say that in your interview.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, please don't be like me.
Yeah.
I
Don't
got
show
away
up,
with a lot of things.
show up at HBO like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? On a farm in Kansas.
I want to be a farmer.
Oh gosh. Okay,
Goodness.
so next we're gonna take Saki's question now. Okay, Saki asks.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, Saki says, finding a job as a concept artist is not easy from where I live. And given the current circumstances, it has become a bit more complicated. Do you have any experience working remotely? If so, what was it like, and do you have any advice for anyone who cannot switch locations to find work on their desired career and has to rely on working from a distance?
This
Long
is
story
the
short,
opportunity
Saki-
we all
yeah.
have now.
Yeah. Saki, if I remember correctly, Saki's based in Mexico, but Saki's a very talented artist, yeah.
Well, you're in a good time now because everyone's working remotely. First and foremost. Yeah. Just put your art out there. Go to all the platforms that allows you to showcase your work and build your viewerships, your fans, and then sooner or later the scouts out there will most likely fall and look at your work and say, hey, we could hire this guy. Just put yourself out there. Instagram, there's a lot of we started out with DeviantArt, but now Facebook has their own art pages. You can get your viewerships there. Even YouTube, you can do everything to get your work out there to be recognized.
This falls back to upping your portfolio, getting everything looking spruce, and attend a lot of tutorial webinars. Get your name actually mentioned, and people actually look out for those things, and they might reach out to you.
Okay.
It's a lot of platforms.
Yeah, I think one big challenge with the current day and age is, while yes, we have greater access than before, but at the same time, the competition is like, it's so fierce these days because there's just so much out there.
Yeah, and they're
just
younger.
Yeah.
We feel so old now.
Oh,
Like you, Sarki, you're probably younger. Oh my
to Sarki, take a look at my Boris FX interview. There's a photo of me working remotely. You can have a look at what my workstation looks like from there.
Nice. All right. Okay. Next up, we have Invis Toby, who asks both of you, how do you progress your art into a career?
I think we
whatever
roughly-
there's a need.
yeah.
Yeah.
When there's a need to fill, they will definitely ask for your art. If you fill that need, you will get a career out of it. That's why I say make sure you have
Supply and
variety.
demand, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
We touched about this back in our days. Our career never existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I
It
really
just
wanted
so
to talk to you
happened
guys.
that there was
Yeah.
need. Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys really like outdid yourselves, like, especially from a time where like all this stuff was basically inconceivable, especially for those of us growing up in this part of the world. Yeah. Okay.
We
Next time we
reached
got
in a timeline where all this was starting to grow. Internet was starting to grow.
yeah. So it's amazing.
Touching Also, my career encompasses a lot of things. It wasn't just directing animation, it was script writing, it was helping with storyboards, designs. I even helped voice direct you, Steven.
Yeah, that's how we
And I
met. Yeah, I remember.
gives training for that in the school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
to
I just winged it.
Yeah, I don't know how
Yeah.
old he is, but we were
Mhm.
lucky being pioneers. It's a lot harder now coming
Mhm.
if you're born in the 90s and above.
2000.
Yeah, you got a lot more competition.
Yeah.
There was no
I mean,
competition for us back in those days.
I had to learn as I go. Nobody taught me how to write scripts. I had to prepare the voice recording scripts by myself sometimes. There was no
Yeah.
special writer for it. I had to prepare it beforehand before I go for recording when the voice actors were there, ready, waiting.
I remember very distinctly working with Sandra in the very, very early stages and working with her
Yeah.
in the last few projects. The growth was very different because I remember like when I
Ah,
first worked with Sandra,
you can
like the
see
first
it,
few
right?
times she voice directed, it's like you're there and you're like, I think she doesn't have a clue what she wants from me, but then, you know, so you just deliver, and you're like, okay, yeah, I think I'm
I
getting
didn't
there.
know nothing.
Yeah, but then like at the towards like the more recent projects we did, right? It was like, okay, she's got a very clear idea how she wants it to sound, how the movements, everything.
And
Like she's got a very clear picture now. Yeah, so it's amazing.
no, one more thing. I already told people that I'm shy. I don't like public appearances. Don't
Yes.
throw me out there. I don't like talking to people. Keep me behind there. That's why I'm so shy to talk to the voice actors. I'm so shy to talk to the sound engineer. Anyone for that matter.
Good job, Stephen, getting her out of a cave. Look at this. She's
Yeah,
even in some sort of cage right
Right.
now.
Okay. Next up we got Sadie. Sadie asks Sandra. Sadie herself is a VFX student. All right. She's based in Thailand right now, and she asks, what program for animation do you use while doing animation work? Was it hard to get used to animation programming?
Oh, I haven't dabbled in animation a lot, to be honest. I was stuck mostly in the pre-production side and directing production. So for animation myself, I like to go back to paper and do on the light box and pencil. And for if you want to capture it, you can use any free app out there is available for any student. You don't need a huge budget to do animation programs unless you want to fully digitalize it. You can even use Adobe now. They have all the softwares you need for animation. Or I would recommend Toon Boom. Toon Boom is really good. And their softwares are always upgrading every year, every season actually.
So basically, what Sandra is saying is, you have better software than she ever had access to, so no excuses.
Yeah, kids nowadays. Sorry, kids. I'm so old.
Okay. B asks, have you ever experienced artist block of any kind? If so, how did you handle it and find a way to get ideas flowing again and motivation?
You skipped Dial, was it?
Yeah, because he asked about Fruit Loops.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think Fruit Loops is a program, so I think he's asking.
Alright.
Yeah.
That we
Oh,
use
we use
dial.
Fruity Loops.
Oh, Dial. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to Dial after we finish B.
Yeah, okay.
So artist block, and how do you handle it and get out of it?
My style of work. If I get an artist block, like I said, I multitask. I do something else that's not related to the job. If say my job for the day is to review shots, oh, that's the worst. You have to type the notes and reviews. I will get drained. I will go to draw. If I don't draw, I will read a book. If I don't read a book, I will go to the garden and do gardening and do farming. Things like that. And if I'm stuck at the desk the whole day, I cannot get outdoors. I would have multiple channels opened and just basically hit all of them. So my mind is blasted with so many programs, so many contents that there's no time to be blocked. Basically,
Oh. That's a good approach.
You just
Yeah.
absorb everything for me, and I get inspired by a lot of people. It's not just people from the industry. I get inspired from historians, from environmentalists, social issues, anything. And if you really need a boost, if you're stuck on something, I will watch documentaries.
Okay.
That brings me more down to earth on reality and inspires me. It would relax me. It would motivate me. Yeah, that's my technique. It doesn't apply to everyone, but that's my way.
Okay, Debra, what about you?
For me, at this day and age, I think artists block for a motion graphics designer shouldn't exist at all, because we have the internet at our disposal. You even if you're bored with no job to do, you're always online on Facebook or Pinterest, and you're creating your boards, your collections of what you like, or one day you might need it, kind of deal. So that's what I usually do. If I have some downtime, go surf, go look at some tutorials, go look at things that inspire me. Even go to Comic-Con, and you'll definitely see something that sparks you, that interests you.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's no blockage I've ever
Yeah,
experienced.
I don't think me and Debra have the luxury of having artist block, basically, because we get inundated with so many tasks, so many jobs, so many varieties. We don't get stuck easily. For me, I will pick up a new language, French or Japanese, things like that to get me.
Yeah, I remember. Sorry, back in Malaysia, there was an experience where after finishing work for the day at 7 p.m., we go to watch a movie, and then I got called back to work at around 10 p.m. saying that client has rejected the entire look for a TV commercial, and I'm called in to help the other designer because that person got stuck, and it's crunch time. Client's agency are waiting there for a next look. And they finished shoot as well. The shoot was finished. They were doing posts already. Things like that could happen. So you gotta go back to work, pull out everything in your arsenal, and just display it to your client and ask them to pick. You gotta get to that level. This actually just mostly happens in Southeast Asia. I don't think this should ever happen in America, though. I haven't.
I'm here to experience it, though.
Yeah. So the same question, if you have even sorry, I interrupted.
No, I was saying come to Southeast Asia for the food, but stay for the soul crushing. You'll be better for it.
It applies what we were saying. If you're even artist block, you're not inspired at what you're drawing, you have a fug. Dude, there's so many great artists out there. Just look at their work and get inspired.
Right.
There's
always that. Okay, next up we got Merle again. We got a question from LZ Bros to Sandra. LZ Bros, they're the guys that did a lot of the 2D animations and the cinematics and 2D cinematics in the game No Straight Roads. They asked, Sandra, did Mr. Syed teach you? I remember he showed me some of your dog animations when I was in college.
Mr. Syed Hassan, is it? Yes, he taught me. Yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I hope you heard nothing bad about me. Yeah, but I gave him one on my portfolio, so yeah, you would have seen some of my work.
Okay.
Hope it was good there. It was.
Right, so Muna asks, when you've fallen down hard and feel you're stuck in a pit you can't get out, what do you do? I think you pretty much answered that, right? Just do other stuff or reach out to your arsenal or get inspired by other people, right? That's kind of how it works. Okay, Haz?
And also,
sorry.
Can I add something there?
Yeah.
Can I add something there? When we're in a fug, we have each other. We're twins. We lean on each other. And if you don't have a sibling to fall on, you have good friends that you lean on for support, and then if that's your way of getting out, or if not, me and Debra love gaming. We get out of our fudge and just game.
Nice.
Oh, my cousin says she's loving the interview on Twitch. Hi, Tracy.
Hey, is this the one that does the 3D
No,
makeup?
that's
No,
Paula.
that's Paula. Okay.
No.
One day we'll get over. All right. Has
But
has
this
a
is
question for you. What was the most unreasonable request that you got as an artist from clients or bosses, etc., and how did you cope with it?
Most
Most unreasonable
Debra?
request.
One came to mind. I had quite a few, but the most for can I answer this one first,
Yeah, go ahead.
Debra? Okay.
Debra has an entire
There was
list.
one
Yeah.
I'm thinking whether to bring up my Milo job or my KFC job right now.
Okay, Sandra, you go first.
I had one that was totally ridiculous, asking us to work overnight to get a presentation ready for a animation project. And how did I cope with it? That was the only one time, and everyone knows this. It's the only one time I lashed out.
Wow.
That's how I cope. I really crumbled. I lashed out. I barked. Wow, wow, wow.
You burned the
Yeah.
farm.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one broke the camel's back, actually.
Okay,
How did I
okay.
cope? Yeah. If not cry, I will bite.
To Haz, I'm not gonna throw anyone under the bus at this point, but if you're a freelancer, if you got something unreasonable, just charge higher. If you are
Right.
staff and you got no choice and you gotta listen, you just gotta listen. It's your bread and butter. You just
That's
gotta
true.
plug through it. I
That's
won't throw anyone under the bus.
Yeah. I mean, even for me
I
as a
had
voice
to work
artist,
on things.
yeah, as a free, even like for myself, I'm pretty much a freelancer as well, right? I do find that when clients, when you get people who are constantly trying to squeeze every dime away from you and try to lower the budgets or come in with ridiculous budgets, that those are usually the jobs that you will end up struggling with, or at least you will have problems with the clients on stuff like that. And the ones that pay your fee, no questions asked, or the ones that like even pay more than what you would normally ask for,
Yeah.
like those are the ones that there's no issue, and even if there is an issue, you don't like
Bend
work
your back
through
for
it
that
very
person, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So next up we got the
I think we
Lotec.
need to return back. Sorry, we dial.
Oh, Dial's question. Oh, sorry.
Okay, no, sorry. Go ahead.
So does this, because okay, I know Sandra's going for this because it's a very Disney question. Dial asks, can you give us some obscure Disney trivia? Would be interested to know your take on the old Disney movies.
Okay, Sandra, I got a question. Who's the brother of Walt Disney?
Dang. Ron. What's his name again?
Starts with an R.
Roy Disney.
Roy Disney. Yes.
Who's the artist in Jungle Book that did the tiger?
Milk Cow.
Yeah, Milk Khan. Yes.
Milk
Any
Cow.
more? You want me to ask more questions? She can ace this.
He's
man.
number one. Yeah. Okay.
Milk
Moving
Cow,
on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Milk Cow.
Okay. All right. Next up. Okay, we got. Okay, Lotec says this one's for Sandra. Lotec asks, as someone who wants to learn more about 2D animation, I'm a student who works with Adobe After Effects, but I want to do different animation as well. What are the important things to learn first to start 2D animation?
You need to learn the fundamentals. You need to know timing, speed. You need to maintain consistency in your drawings. You need to learn shapes, how to move them, how to learn about weight, follow-throughs. All the applications apply, whether 2D or 3D. If you have great 2D grounding, it doesn't matter what apps you're using or program.
Is there like a
Basically.
major blind spot that you notice a lot of artists face?
The blind spots come across when they don't have good 2D background. They
Okay.
wouldn't have the fundamentals to apply weight in the character movement, or getting the timing right. And those will come if you don't have good grounding.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of students who skipped the process and went straight from 2D to 3D. You may learn it in a 3D school. I'm not sure how many schools would go through the entire process properly, unless you're in a really good one like Cal Arts, for example. A lot of schools tend to skip that, and I'm not going to name names, but if they don't have good grounding, all these blind spots, all these mistakes will come for sure.
Okay.
Don't
Deborah,
skip the
like
process.
Deborah, in your field, like in VFX, is there a particular blind spot that a lot of people tend to like overlook, especially that potential hires?
Spelling.
Spelling.
Especially
Oh
when
my-
you're doing graphics and
Yeah.
you need to type something in a different language. Let's just go with English. I've seen so many misspellings live on TV.
Oh,
You have to do the motion graphics, right, for credits and all.
Yeah, you just don't have you design something so nice, but end of the day, that could just bring you down.
Yeah,
that little
everyone's just gonna be
mistake.
fixated on the one typo, no matter how much effort you
Please-
put into the rest of the piece,
Please
right?
don't represent Malaysia for making typos. We're so good at that.
We've got enough. We've got enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up we got Oren. Oren asks, will you consider coming back to Malaysia and work in a studio here, or maybe somewhere else in the future?
Maybe ask Debra that. It's better to ask Debra because she's set in her way.
Well, I won't totally burn Malaysia as we're going through a lot right now. I'm quite happy where I am at the moment, and personally, my dream is to get into film, and I think Malaysia's not strong at that area yet.
Yeah.
I hope they will be one day.
I think the
Maybe
qualifiers
I
would be
will
that,
come back,
yeah. If the industry and the standards, everything all went up to the level that you are comfortable with, then it would be an option, right?
I'm not happy with the
System?
I want to say, what's the word? When you don't want to show something on air. When it's haram.
You mean they have to edit?
Censorship.
I even forget the word censorship because it's non-existent. You can do whatever you want here. The creative is free, freedom of speech. In Malaysia, there's still so much limitation, so much censorship, and there's a bigger pool of talent I can learn from here. I won't say I won't come back, although I say I won't. I don't want to come back. I would love to come back to actually impart my knowledge to you guys.
Yeah. Okay, before we move on, Deborah, do you have to go like take care of the baby for a bit, or?
You can hear him? Let me check on him. Excuse me.
Yeah. All right. Don't worry. Yeah. Because I understand it's the mom thing. All right. Okay. So.
And if it's for me coming back to Malaysia, since I'm here now, we were always open to come back to Malaysia. If there's a farm there ready for us. Yeah, I'm in France.
Are you like? Are you in France like for good for the foreseeable time frame? Or
Married a French guy.
Yeah, man. I was, but you're still working remotely for like the Malaysian company, right? Yeah, for Giggle Garage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So even though Sandra's like not on our soil, she's still here. She's still here.
We love Malaysia.
Yeah.
Just that the system is not strong for the art industry in general. I mean, it is growing.
It is growing,
but
it is getting better.
It needs more clout and a stronger support system.
Yeah, that's true. I fully agree with you. Okay. Next up, we have Dial who asks. Okay, it's not an art question, but If one of you craves a certain food, does the other one crave the same thing at the same time? I guess it's a twin.
It's a twin question. We do have those bizarre twin moments. Yes, it's like she would crave something one day, and ironically, I'll be having the same thing the same day
Wow. Okay.
or the next day. Yeah,
Okay.
it's within 24 hours for sure.
Nice. Okay, we
Yeah.
got one from Sarki. Another one from Sarki who asks, do you have any advice to anyone struggling with their artistic confidence? Say people who are on the brink of giving up because they don't feel they can get better or have lost motivation. She's got a friend that she wishes to help out.
If it depends on the person. If they lost it because they couldn't get to the artistic level they want, then I would say don't give up. It's
Mhm.
it's it's easy to always change. Especially, I see a lot of turnarounds in our industry in animation. For example, when I started in animation school, our turnaround was huge. A lot of kids drop out midway to go into other branches. They didn't realize how hard it is in
Yeah.
our industry.
Yeah.
And just to taste it in while you're still learning the process, giving up midway is understandable. Nobody anticipated it, and I blamed all the behind the scenes footages that
Oh, it's
draws a
always
very
all,
dreamlike picture,
yeah,
right?
it's always on fun and rainbows, right?
So good,
Yeah.
but you don't know the hard work behind it. So I know it can hit at a lot of people's confidence and
Yeah.
motivation when they realize how hard it is.
Yeah.
So I say, maybe for this personal person, it's better to know that person a bit more to see where they're coming from. So maybe Sarki could hit me up later, and we can see what is the person's struggles are, and then
Okay.
we can address that better.
All right, cool. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I always warn people about like taking things up as a career, like stuff like this as a career, because even with voiceovers, I had Azman on recently, and he spoke about like how when he yeah. So when Azman first got into the voiceover industry, right? Like his first few jobs, like he mentioned like how soul crushing it was, and like it. Yeah, I fully agree. Even for me, like
Reality.
my first few jobs was like, oh god, yeah, reality
Yeah,
bites
yeah.
very hard.
Yeah, and those demands the clients make from you, and you get slapped in the face when you eventually don't get paid for working overtime
Oh
or
yes,
overnight work. Those things you have to put up with it. It's part of life
yes.
in any
It's
job.
part
I
of
say,
life.
not just ours.
I am back.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
welcome back. Okay, basically Saki had a question for both of you early on about wanting advice for someone struggling with their artistic confidence because that person was on the brink of giving up and they don't feel that they can get better or have lost their motivation. Sandra has put an arm out, all right, to assist.
Yeah.
Debra, do you have
Person.
anything like that you would recommend or suggest?
Well, sure. If that person wished to talk to both of us, pass him or her our email, and
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. You got
I
it,
think we
Sarki.
missed someone out. Hyenasaurus.
Hyenasaurus, okay. Okay, Hyenasaurus asked this. Do you two sometimes bounce ideas to each other when you can't quite get something right? Like programmers talking to the rubber ducky.
I think we
Oh.
confide to each other quite a bit now.
yeah, I'm not sure if we bounce each other ideas because she's totally in a different
Yeah, it's different realms,
industry.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we do confide in each other for personal problems.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but we do collab sometimes as well, and bouncing ideas from there. Like, for example, Deborah has an idea for a comic, and because she's not familiar with that side of the industry and how to go about
I
it,
can't
even
draw.
generating ideas. No, but even
Basically, I
generating
can't draw.
ideas, we bounce ideas from there. Deborah would have an
Yeah.
idea of how the story might go, and then I would say, "How about this?" We just bounce from there.
Okay,
Back
okay.
in those days when we were mentah and we were raw, we
Mm.
we couldn't collab much. We would be butting heads. But
Yeah.
now that we are much more,
It
With
takes a bit
experience.
of and it takes a bit of experience and death of the ego, I think. And when you're young and raring to go, there is a lot of ego getting in the way of everything you're doing.
Yeah, even for twins, we don't get along. So I would acknowledge that, and I always have to
Yeah.
kowtow. I don't like that.
She's the bull. She's the bull.
Yeah, no, but she's also always claiming 10 minutes older.
All right. Ishtar has a question for both of you, asking, did you ever have your family try to steer you towards a different career? And if so, did they ever come around, or were they accepting of your choices?
I think they gave up on it.
They gave up.
I
we
know
were
they gave up.
lucky. We were
Yeah.
lucky. We didn't have that pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they gave up.
How many siblings do you guys have, like, before you?
There's 4 of us together.
It's 4.
Me and Debra.
Altogether 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ishtar,
Sandra was the bonus there.
Yeah, you buy one get one free. I was the unexpected child.
So yeah, Ishtar,
So-
the solution is to get more siblings. So your parents won't bug you.
Pressure. No, because I would confess I was a bad performer in school. That's why my parents had no high hopes for me. So that's why no pressure to swim anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Next up we got Dear Boy, who asks, if you're an artist who has done art courses since, let's say, 5 years old and loves doing art, but not the medium you originally set out, what's the best source of action? Okay, he says basically he's just stuck doing illustrations and he wants to jump to animation and become more flexible.
There's a lot of options out there now. So if you feel like you want to steer somewhere else, there's so many platforms out there that can show you so many methods to go about it. If you're stuck drawing and it ends up in illustration, if you're not happy and you want to try something else, it's never too late. I've seen people jump from different career paths actually. So,
That's
like
true.
for example, one person from engineer suddenly go into art in their midlife, for example. It's never too late to change if you feel like it's not going where you want to go.
Follow your heart. This morning I was watching another tutorial from another illustrator, and he started off as he likes drawing, and then he became an engineer, and then he became an architect, and now he went to 3D gaming.
Wow.
And yeah, he's much older than us.
Okay.
And I
I've
think
even
there's
read
always
stories
about it.
And I think there's always something to a person who's like hopped from industry or discipline to discipline,
Yeah.
because in the final the final form, right, the work they put out will be very, very different, and it'll be set up so far apart from everybody else who has just like done that one thing all throughout their lives, right? Yeah.
It's because you have a different journey from everyone else.
Yeah. Okay, we got Joel Lee, who had a question for Sandra, asking, what is the first food you ate when you landed in France?
I'm embarrassed to say this.
McDonald's.
I
McDonald's.
okay.
Tell the
First
truth.
time in France this year was McDonald's. But 4 years ago, when I first arrived in France, my first food I had was pastries, basically French pastries.
French pastries. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and it was at the airport. It was pain au chocolat.
Okay, Dial has one question for you guys. Okay, it's a 2-part question. Let's answer the second part first. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm biased. I
She's
say
a
both. I'm both Star Wars and Trekkie because I love 2 people from both universe.
Yeah. He's a Mark
One already.
Hamill,
Yeah,
and
one
he's
is
a
from Mark.
Ren Spiner.
Yeah, Red Spiner. Lieutenant Commander Data.
Okay, and Dao's first half of the question was, do you have any advice for budding artists trying to make it in the business?
Budding art. Advice for budding artists. Depends on what you're looking for, I suppose.
It depends on what type of business as well. Everything's highly competitive these days. If
Yeah.
my child wants to become an artist right now, I would say get ready to be prepared to not make a lot of money in the beginning. It comes really, really slowly.
Yeah. I would say don't put yourself in a very demanding situation. First and foremost, don't go into post production.
That's true.
If it's what you want to do, do it. But you just gotta brace yourself.
Yeah.
If you want a softer path, I would say children's book illustrations is a nice start. It gets your foot in the door and not too demanding. Publishing, basically. Animation, gaming, advertising are all very tough businesses and very demanding, and it will kill your soul if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, because a lot of it is more functional than.
Answer. I would just say go for it. Go for it.
Yes, it's so crushing, and I'm so fragile.
Yeah.
I'm the bull.
Basically, Sandra's way is to go out there, plant a seed in the most fertile ground you can find, and grow into the tree and flower that you aspire to be. Debra's one is just like, no, go get your soul crushed and see if you still want to do this at the end of the day.
It's like, I don't know who you want.
No regrets. Do not have any regrets.
Yeah. Okay,
wow,
I
that
think.
was all questions.
How was it for you, Stephen, when you started out? Let's
started-
put the radar on you now.
Yeah, I growing up, it was two things for me. Be a rock star or be a cartoon. I tried the rock star thing, it didn't work out. But the rock star thing brought me, the rock star thing brought me into like music college where I got to learn about like audio engineering and all that. And it was at that college where someone's aunt was working in one of the post-production studios, and they needed someone to like rap in Chinese for a commercial. And then I was like, oh, you can rap, right? Then you speak Chinese, right? You can read, right? Okay lah, go and try. So I did it. Then I found out, oh, there's this. That was when I discovered, oh, there's this entire universe of like ads and all this kind of stuff. And then I remember this person who came into the studio later than me and left earlier than me, and I saw the invoice. I was like, wow, like what did this person do? And they were like, oh, he's the voiceover guy. He's the announcer at the end of the ad. I was like, dang. So didn't think much of it. Then found out there's this whole voiceover for career, for commercials aspect of stuff. So did a few more jingles
per second, right?
Yeah, and asked my friend, hey, do you mind if I give this stuff a try? Can I try it out? Got my first gig as a VO. It was a 40-second ad, and it took me over like 2 hours to do, like almost two and a half hours, which is crazy long, right? Yeah. So I got a bit scarred from that. So didn't think too much of it.
And
after
2
that.
hours of that, your voice box must be drained.
Yeah, and this was my first ever gig. So didn't think much of it. Went back to the audio thing, and ended up working as an audio engineer at a radio station. Got to listen to a lot of other voice talents. And then the station that time, because it was a new station, it was a startup, so they wanted us to be able to multitask, to do different things. So my thing was, I picked news reading, right? So the other folks in the station would help me with my diction and all this kind of stuff. I would practice a lot. And the first time they let me try to read the news, it was like a last minute thing to fill in for someone at like 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. I did so badly that for a new radio station with 0 listeners, we got complaints. We got complaints.
Yeah. But your soul wasn't crushed. Totally wasn't.
Oh my! I was like, okay, you know, I will work on it. I'll try again. My boss was like, oh, okay, you just take a break there, right? Let's just wait for this thing to blow over first, right? And I was like, after a while, I sat down at, I think it was 24, 25 years old. I calculated how much money I needed to retire, and like somehow the numbers didn't add up for me. And and the worst thing for me was that I could not handle doing the 9 to 5, going to the same place every day, routine kind of thing. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's the same for a lot of artists.
Yeah, exactly. And after a while, I saved up some money and I told myself, you know what? I'll give this voiceover thing a good try. If 6 months to a year, if things don't work out, I would just say, fine, I'll go back and work a regular full-time job. And it's been like, what, more than 10 years? And, you know.
See, the moral of the story is do not regret, right? For you as well.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I also advocate for people to have a little bit of a financial plan before you just venture out. And also have
before you migrate to the States, also have a little buffer. Do not go my way. Do not do that.
Yeah, and also have a little at least a cut-off date or a timeline of when you expect certain things to happen, because you don't want to be stuck in that rut where like you've been trying for like 5 years and then nothing happened, and like but you still blindly believe, and as much as I don't want to keep people to kill their dreams or whatever, I do believe that at some point it's no longer about chasing your dream, it's about chasing your ego, because you're not you're not opening yourself up to like other things.
Sense and a little bit more mindful of time. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a little bit of a balance. Yeah. So that's all I would add to it.
Yeah. If someone tells me that they're 60 years old and they're gonna just venture into my industry right now, I would say, I'm sorry, it's a bit too late. There's younger, harder working that can work long hours, that's willing to put in that sacrifice. Yeah.
Unless that 60-year-old is like Southeast Asian and she can work faster than everybody else.
Yeah, but I would say if you're 40, there's still hope, because nobody really looks at age at that time.
Yeah.
Right, look guys. It's already it's only afternoon here, but look, it's nighttime. It's winter here. The sun sets early.
I'm ready for Christmas and it's only November.
Halloween tak jadi over here. They don't really celebrate Halloween. So Christmas is already here in the supermarkets and all shopping malls.
Okay, I think we're almost like 2 hours in. Can you guys believe it?
Yeah. Ooh.
So.
But thanks everyone for all the questions that.
Thank you guys so much for the questions. Dial ask, why are y'all so awesome?
All three of us, by the way.
I want to add him to my friends list in Facebook now.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
But
thank you guys so much for doing this. I really appreciate it, because again, I don't know how I ended up with like a community of so many artists around me, but I'm in it, and it's helped me appreciate
to show photos
a lot more. Oh, you want to show photos? Yeah. Go ahead, because I'm just concerned because like the stream is like lagging on my end. I think there's
we can do it next time.
Yeah, my computer is a potato, so we can try it now if you want, actually. You're trying to share from your end, right? I think from your end should be fine. Yeah, let's give it a go.
Yeah, I wanted to show people what it looks like working in HBO.
So it's just all pictures of the Game of Thrones premiere lah. That's it lah.
No lah, I got that in a separate folder. You want that folder first? I can show a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's show the Radio City Music Hall one. I actually have the photo ops before the show, the Radio City Music Hall one, the swag sale. Well, I got plenty.
So how has the whole pandemic situation like affected you guys like workflow and
Pandemic is normal. We don't change our lifestyle. Basically, we're always in the desk at home. We don't like to go out. I know I don't. I'm introvert. So the pandemic is my blessing in disguise.
Yeah, HBO didn't miss a beat. They actually predetermined when this was going to happen, and they got the engineers to figure a game plan already. And the moment was March 11th, a week before the lockdown was announced. We were already starting to work from homes, and they sent us machines to work with as well.
Oh, nice.
My
Can I
timing
share
was
this with you?
Yeah, go ahead. But my timing was so ngam. By the time I left for France, all this came about. Woof,
Oh, dang.
whoosh, and I was already set up for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, this was the Radio City Music Hall entrance,
Whoa,
and what it looks
it's
like
nice.
inside, with free popcorn, and this was what it looks like inside with the full cast.
Whoa.
That was the actors entrance, the VIP entrance.
Nice.
And this was at Rockefeller Center, where they built an actual huge throne by the ice rink. And hold on.
Dum 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 dum. Oh my god, it's a new follower.
This one.
The cast giving a
We weren't allowed to record the show, the premiere, but that was
Okay.
the end part.
Oh, that
Almost
is
everyone
so
was
cool.
there except Lena Headey.
Why was Lena Headey not there?
Yeah.
maybe she was filming somewhere
Oh,
else.
probably.
No, she was sick that
Makes
day.
sense. Oh, she was sick. Okay.
Peter, if you're watching this, I love you.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Little tidbit of what the cinema floor looks like in HBO. We have a cinema floor, guys. This was the premiere of Joker.
This was the old studio before you
No,
switched.
this is the new one.
Oh.
This is the small cinema. We have 3 cinemas. This is the bigger one for Birds of Prey. Yeah.
Is there a market for like, is there like an indie VFX artist market?
Indie VFX, like CG
Yeah.
Society, you mean?
Yeah, maybe. Cause
The-
like now, from what I understand, like you have your major networks and like your major like film studios and all this kind of stuff, but like the whole indie side of things, the non-union work and all this kind of stuff, that's all also ramping up very quickly, right? And I was like in the States.
It's a big freelance pool. You go to staffing agencies for that. Unless you're well known. If you're not known, you're unknown, you have to go through staffing agencies, like how I started out with, to get your foot in
Okay.
the door. Because big companies you want to work for, they get millions and millions of emails. And when I started, I shoot out like 100 emails for job applications, and only like 1% responded with denying rejection
Wow.
or saying thank you. But you gotta go through a staffing agency here. That's how I went through.
All right.
Okay,
Okay. Any more pictures?
you want more? Oh dear, I got so much. You waiting?
Oh gosh.
Show your reel, Deborah, so we can get
Oh,
to
my reel?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, guys, if you want to check out more of Deborah and Sandra's stuff, you can head over to the Discord server. We'll have like links to their stuff posted in there. And also, yeah, I'll figure out how to get like more of you guys putting your stuff out here as well. Your socials, yes, you all need to share the socials in a bit.
Is the video running?
Yes.
Yeah, videos running, but it's a little bit
Very
choppy. But
great. Yeah.
yeah.
It's not smooth.
Yeah, it's not very smooth because like, the stream's running like a potato over here.
Oh, then should I stop?
Yeah, I think it's fine. So okay, Sandra, if people want to check out your stuff or like get a better view of all your works, where can they head to?
You can go find me in my Facebook or Instagram. You can provide the links for. I'm trying to give life back to my DeviantArt as well. I used to keep a blog, but that needs to be revitalized. But the most current ones are my new Facebook art page and Instagram.
Facebook art page and Instagram. The Facebook art page you have is
The new
Malaysian-
one, the Malaysian
yeah.
artist abroad. I'm
Yes,
trying
Malaysian artist
to
abroad.
keep an online journal of my travels, like a carnet de voyage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Debra, what about you? If people want to find you online, where do they go?
Go to my Vimeo, and I have a Behance.
Yeah,
And
you
my
can find the
LinkedIn.
Behance as well.
Yes.
My
okay.
LinkedIn has all the stuff. You can go there.
Right.
Mm.
Okay.
LinkedIn
If you guys,
is a must-have. Yeah.
yeah. For those of you in the Discord, just head over into the events section. Early on, I posted like all the links to Sandra and Debra's like portfolio and works and show reels and stuff. So do go check it out. All right. Our Discord is for 18 and above only. No, not safe for work content. And let's keep it all positive, good vibes. Okay. Very very chill place. Alrighty.
Thank you.
Yeah, so last but not least, I just want to say a big thank you to you, both of you, for like taking the time to do this. I really, really appreciate it. I hope all of you guys watching it like got something out of it. You know, I definitely did. Like, this is incredible insight. Debra, I remember I've met in person like at VHQ before, or was it so? No?
Puppet.
Oh, the
Puppet.
puppet. Oh yeah, the puppet workshop. Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very different circumstances that we meet, right? You think like,
Yeah, we don't
So,
just do the work. We go to gaming. We go do puppet
Yeah.
workshops. We do anything we're passionate about.
yeah, it's the puppetry workshop. That was really fun. Sandra, I've worked with like quite a number of times now, and on different projects,
Yeah.
and I've seen how.
And you did a great job.
Hey, you too.
by the
Because because I've seen how she went from like this very, very soft-spoken,
Good.
like, you know, yeah,
Nobody.
yeah, worried about people being upset to the like to just into this thing where like she knows what she wants, she knows like how to deal with people, and like she's such a different creature now. Yeah, and it's amazing.
She's like
It's 'cause-
the mother of dragons.
Because I've been
kind.
forced
Yeah.
out of my cave. I didn't want to come out.
No, she's Dracarys now. Dracarys.
Wow, the Karis. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this stream up. Thank you guys so much again, and yeah, to the next one. Thank you, folks, for watching. Right, I've got like two cameras going on right now. I need to figure out which one
Actually,
I'm talking about.
everyone can hit us up if you have any other questions, because I'm sure we didn't fully address it properly. If that was
Yeah,
the answers you're looking for.
Yes. I'm sure.
So,
I'm sure
yeah.
there's some probably they want to ask you guys stuff in the back and whatever. So yeah, we'll try to facilitate that. Again, thank you guys very much. Catch you on the next stream. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Steven.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for arranging this.
No problem. Okay, we're gonna cut to the end screen.